Hello and welcome to this video. In this video I will show you how to create a Chevron friendship bracelet. Only that I will order the cords in a different manner than in the traditional Chevron bracelet. So let's begin making this bracelet. So I have chosen 4 different colors. As you can see here, 2 greens and 2 browns. And the total length of this cord that I will use is about 70 centimeters. In order to begin the bracelet, I will first of all make the loop. And the loop will serve to close the bracelet. So through this loop I will put the cords that will allow me to close my bracelet. So the first step is to create an overhand knot, this knot here, and this way I create my loop, the closure of my bracelet. Now I will take the clamp and grab the cords with the clamp so that I can start the braiding process. So this time I will not put the cords in the usual order for the chevron bracelet. I will switch the order of the cords. So I will first of all put the brown cord, then I will put the green cord, the light brown cord, and a second green cord. And now, instead of putting the cords in the mirror like in the traditional chevron bracelets, like this. So this would be the pattern, the traditional pattern of the bracelets. The brown on the outside, then the lighter green, the light brown, and the darker green. So this part and this part are in the mirror. But in this case I will switch the order of my cords. So I will put the cords in a pattern that is similar to the pattern used for the candy stripe bracelets. So brown, light green, light brown, dark green, and then again the same order: brown, light green, light brown, dark green. And let's start making the chevron pattern. So I will make the forward knot. I will create the shape of the number 4, and with my forefinger I will take the dark brown cord out through this loop, and I make 1 knot and the second knot. So I have created my first full knot made of 2 half forward knots. Now I will take the brown cord and put it on my second cord, on my light brown cord. I create the forward knot, so the shape of the number 4, and with my forefinger I take this cord out here and make 1 half knot, and then the second half knot. And this is my last cord on this half, on the left half. The green, the dark green cord, so I make 1 half knot and another half knot. And as you can see, I have brought the brown cord in the middle from the edge, And now I am going to do the same process, but from this end towards the middle with the last cord, which is the dark green cord. So I'm going to make a backward knot, so the 4 in the mirror, and I'm going to take the cord out through this loop and make one knot, and the second knot, now I have the second cord, the light green cord, and I make one backward half knot and the second backward half knot. So I created the full backward knot, and now this is my last cord on which I will make a backward knot, one half knot and the second half knot. Like this. So let's see from a closer distance. I have made this half brown and this half green. And now I have these two cords here. Now I will create one knot. Let's see from a distance so that we can see the knot. I will create in the middle one forward knot like this, and a second forward knot like this. And now let's continue with the next cord, this cord here. So I will make the first knot, 1 and 2, then on the second cord 1 and 2, on the third cord 1 and 2, so I put this cord away and I begin from the other side, the backward knot, 1, our mascot, 1 and 2, the next cord, 1 and 2, and the third cord, 1 and 2, and now I have the middle cords, and again I make the forward knot, 1 and 2. Now let's continue with the next cord, with the light brown cord. I will make one and 2, and then the next cord, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and now let's make the backward knots, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and the last backward knot, and a forward knot again, 1 and 2. Now let's continue with the green cords, with the dark green cords. 1 and 2, and with the brown cord, the backward knot, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and now the central knots, 1 and 2. Now let's see from a closer distance what we have created so far. So as you can see, we still have the chevrons, but they are distorted because the order of our yarns is different. So I will continue braiding, adding the knots, creating these knots until I create a bracelet long enough to go around my wrist, and then I will show you how to close the bracelet. And now I have finished making the bracelet and I will make the closure. So I will take these cords and I will start braiding them. I will take one clamp and grab those cords, and I will also braid these cords. Now that I have braided this cord as well, I will make a knot at the end of this cord. Like this. I will also make a knot at the end of this other cord. Like this. And now I will take the scissors and cut the ends of the cords like this. And now let's see the finished bracelet. So this is what the finished bracelet looks like, and let's put it on the wrist like this. And in order to close the bracelet, I will use this loop and my cords. So I'll put one cord through this loop here, and then I will create a knot like this in order to close my bracelet. So this is how the bracelet is closed, and this is what it looks like. And this is the finished bracelet. I will show you how to create a friendship bracelet with diamonds and chevrons using different colors. I will use yellow and green, and I will begin by creating the loop. So generally, when you make a bracelet of this type, it is recommended to use yarns. For the green yarns that I will make the chevrons with and the diamonds, I will use about 70 centimeters, that's about 28 inches long, from this point to this point. And I will also add a few centimeters to the yellow yarns with which I will make the X's. And I will begin with the loop. So around here I will make the loop. First of all, I will establish the length of the loop, so my loop should be about this long, and I will start making the loop by twisting the yarns this way. So I will twist the yarns on the length of my loop, and now I will superpose the twisted yarns until they twist around one another. And here, at the bases of the twisted yarns, so of my loop, I will make an overhand knot this way. So this is my loop. So as you can see, if I want to open the loop, I will turn the loop this way, and I can put the tie through the loop here, and if I let go, you will see that the loop twists again like this. Now I will grab the yarns and I will start separating the yarns according to their color. And now let's start creating the pattern. I will use the green yarns to create chevrons, and with the yellow yarns I will create the X's that will separate the chevrons and the diamonds. We shall begin with the first green chevron. I will make forward knots on the left side and backward knots on the right side. A forward knot is done by creating the shape of the number 4 like this, putting the finger under this yarn. I will grab with the nail the other yarn. I will take the yarn out through this loop and create the first forward knot, and then I will create a second forward knot. Now I will put the green yarn away and I will create 2 forward knots on the yellow yarn, one and the second. And I brought the green yarn in the middle here. Now I will take the right green yarn and I will make backward knots. In order to make a backward knot, I will create the shape of the number 4 but in the mirror. I will put my finger under this yarn, I'll grab the other yarn with the nail and take the yarn out through the loop. And I will make the second backward knot. And on the yellow yarn I will make 2 backward knots as well, one and a second. And now I have brought the 2 yarns, the 2 green yarns in the middle, and here I will make 2 forward knots. Here in the middle you can make either forward or backward knots, or a combination of forward and backward knot. Either a forward and a backward, or a backward and a forward. So for the knot in the middle, you have the choice to make whatever knot you like. So this is the first chevron, the first green chevron, and let's make a second green chevron. So I will do the same steps. I will make 2 forward knots here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 2 backward knots here, 1 and 2. And 2 backward knots here, 1 and 2. And in the middle again I will make 2 forward knots, 1 and 2. So I have created 2 chevrons, 2 green chevrons, and now let's begin with the yellow decoration. I will begin by making a chevron. So 2 forward knots, 1 and the second forward knot, 1 forward knot and the second forward knot, and here 2 backward knots, 1 and 2. One and 2. And here in the middle I will make 2 forward knots, 1 and 2. So I have created a chevron. And now I will create 2 dots on the left and the right. I will make a forward knot with the green yarns and a backward knot. Like this, a backward knot. And on the other side, on the right side, I will make a backward knot, so the 4 in the mirror, and a forward knot, so the number 4. And now that I have created the dots, I will create an inverted chevron with the yellow yarn. So in order to make the inverted chevron, I will take the yellow yarn and make a backward knot, 1 and 2 on the green yarn. I have moved the yellow yarn from this place to this place, so I moved the yarn backward with the backward knot, and now I will move the yarn backward one more step by creating backward knots on the second yarn. So 1 backward knot, the second backward knot. So the yarn has moved backward again and it is on the outside now. Now let's do the same with this other yarn. So in order to move it from here to this place, I will make forward knots. So the yarn will move forward. I'll make the shape of the number 4 for the forward knot. I make 1 forward knot and the second, one forward knot and the second, and my 2 yellow yarns have moved outside. And now let's create the diamonds. So let's see from a closer distance. So I have created the chevrons, the green chevrons, the dots, the green dots on the sides, and now I am going to create a diamond here. In order to create the diamond, I will make 1 forward knot and the second forward knot here in the middle, like this. And now I will take this yarn and I will make one forward knot, a second forward knot, like this. With this yarn I will make one backward knot and the second backward knot, like this, and I have two yarns in the middle and I make one forward knot and the other forward knot. And now I will create a chevron with the yellow yarn, so I will make one forward knot, the second forward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, one backward knot, another backward knot, one backward knot and the second backward knot. Now I brought the two yellow yarns into the middle here and I'll make one forward knot and the second forward knot. So as you can see here, I have created a little fish, the shape of a fish. And now we shall continue by making two dots on the sides here. So I'll make one forward knot and one backward knot. And I created one dot on one side. And here I will create one backward knot and one forward knot, like this. So I created two dots on the sides, and now I will create with these two yarns an inverted chevron again. So one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, and with the yellow yarn one forward knot and the second forward knot, one forward knot and the second forward knot, this way. Now I will make one forward knot and another forward knot in the middle here, this way, and I will create one backward knot to create an inverted chevron, another backward knot, one backward knot and a second backward knot, like this. And on this other side I will make one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, and I have created an inverted chevron. Now I have these two yarns. Here I will make one forward knot, the second forward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, and on the other side one forward knot, the second forward knot, one forward knot, and the second forward knot. Here I will create one forward knot and another forward knot with the yellow yarn. And now I will make some chevrons. So I will make one backward knot, the second, one forward knot, the second forward knot. I'll take the next yarn, I'll make one forward knot and the second forward knot, this way. With the other yarn I will make one backward knot, the second backward knot, one backward knot, the second backward knot, and here in the middle two forward knots, one forward knot and the second. And let's make the second chevron. One forward knot, the second forward knot, one forward knot, the second forward knot, one backward knot, one backward knot, one backward knot, and another backward knot, and two forward knots in the middle, 1 and 2. And now let's look at the pattern. So as you can see, I began by making two green chevrons, then I made a yellow chevron, then I created the two dots on the sides, then I made a yellow inverted chevron, I created the diamond, the green diamond, I made another chevron, again I made two green dots, an inverted yellow chevron, then two inverted green chevrons, one yellow dot here, and again, just like here at the beginning, I made two green chevrons. And now that I have again created the two green chevrons, which are these green chevrons, I will continue just like here with the yellow chevron, the dots, the yellow inverted chevron, the diamond, and so on. So these two green chevrons here are these two green chevrons here. And from here on we shall continue with the yellow chevron and then the diamond, the axis and the diamond. So let's continue making the same design as the design that we have made here, and I will continue repeating this design until I obtain the desired length of my bracelet. So until the bracelet goes around my wrist. And once I have noticed that the bracelet is long enough, I will show you how to create the tie for the bracelet. And now that I have finished the bracelet, I will start making the tie, the bracelet tie. So I will start braiding, and I will put the cords like this, and I will begin by taking the left cord and put it on the right side here, and then I will take the right cord and cross it this way. Now I will take the next green cord from here, put it parallel with the other green cord like this, and I will also take the right green cord and put it, cross it with my other green cord this way here in the middle. Now I will take the yellow cord, put it on from the left side to the right side, and I will take the right yellow cord and put it on the left side and cross it with the other cord. So let's see from a closer distance. Again, I will take the green cord and the other green cord from the outside and cross them here in the middle. I'll take the next green cord and the other green cord, cross them. I'll take the yellow cord and the other yellow cord and cross them in the middle here. So I take the cords from the outside, put them on the inside and cross them on the inside. And this is how I braid those cords. So I will continue braiding those cords until I get to the end of my cords. And then I will make a knot. And now I will make a knot. And this is the finished bracelet. And in order to close the bracelet, I will just open the loop over here, like this, and I will put the knot through the loop, this way, and my bracelet is finished. And this is what the finished bracelet looks like. I will show you how to create a friendship bracelet, a chevron friendship bracelet. I will use these three colors. I have the blue color, I have the black color here, and the light brown color. So these pieces of thread will be about 70 centimeters long. That is about 27 and a half inches long. Now I will put the threads one over the other, and then I will find the middle of these threads. Like this. So this is the middle of the threads. Now I will make a loop here by creating a knot at the end of the threads here. Like this. And now I will grab this loop and with this hanger I will put it on the table. I will separate those threads. So I will take the light brown. So I have these two groups of colors. So I will first take the light brown thread like this and put it away like this. Then I will take the blue thread, I'll put it this way, and then the black thread. And on this other side I will do the same. I put the brown thread like that, then I put a second thread, the blue thread, and the black thread. And now let's see how we can create the first knot. Now I will start making the first knot. I will take the first two threads, I will take the brown thread and put it over the blue thread, and I will grab with my forefinger the brown thread and put it through the loop and close the knot. And I will make a second knot using the same rule. So I put the brown thread over the blue thread and I grab it with my finger like this and make the second knot. Now I have the brown and the black thread. Again, I will make the same type of loop. I'll put the brown thread over the black thread and I will take the thread like this out. And I'll make another knot using the same rule. And now I have brought, as you can see, now I have brought the black thread in the middle, the brown thread in the middle, and let's do the same steps again, but this time from the thread on the right side. I will take the brown thread on the right side, put it over the blue thread. Now I will put these threads away like this, and now I will do the same thing with the threads on the right side but in the mirror. So I will take the brown thread, put it over the blue thread, and I will take the thread out through this loop and make the first knot. Again, I put the thread like this and take it out through this loop. Now I have these two threads. I put the brown thread over the black thread like this and take the thread out through this loop. I have the thread here and take it out through the loop and make the second knot. And now I have the brown threads in the middle, and I will do the same with these two brown threads. So I put one thread over the other, and I will make a knot here. And now, as you can see, we have the threads in another order. We have the blue thread on the outside, the black thread in the middle, and the brown thread on the inside. So let's do the same steps. I will put the blue thread over the thread in the middle, the black thread, and I will take the thread out through the loop and make the first knot. Again, I put the thread like this. With my finger I take the thread out through the loop and make the second knot. Again, I put the thread like this, and with my finger I take the thread out through the loop like this and close the knot. Let's make the second knot like this. So as you can see, I already have two lines here. The brown line and the blue line made of knots. Now I put the threads on this side away, and I do the same steps on the right side. So I make the loop like this, and now I take the thread out through this loop like this, I make one knot, then I make the second knot, like this, and now I will put the blue thread over the brown thread, and I make one knot and the second, like this. And now I have again brought the two blue threads in the middle here, and I will again make a knot. Now I will continue making a few knots, a few more knots. So I have the thread on the right side and on the left side, so I will begin with the thread on the left side. So I will put the brown thread over the blue thread. I'll take the brown thread through the loop and I make the knot. And I'll make the second knot using the same rule. Like this. Now I take the brown thread and the black thread, and I put the brown thread over the black thread like this, and I take the brown thread through the loop like this and make the first knot, and then again I use the same steps to make the second knot, like this. And now I have brought the brown thread from the edge to the middle, and I put the threads on the left side away, and I will do the same steps on the right side. So I take the outer thread, the brown thread, and put it over the blue thread like this, and now I will take it out through the loop again, and I make the knot, the first knot. Again I put the thread over the other thread and take the thread through the loop like this, and I made the second knot. I'll put the blue thread away and I will make the knot with the black thread. So I put brown thread over the black thread, then I take the brown thread through the loop and make the first knot, and then I also make the second knot like this. Again the brown thread from the right side has also reached the middle of the bracelet, and now with these two threads in the same color I will make two knots, the first knot and the second knot like this. So I have made another row of colors. Let's make another row with the next color, the blue color. So I will put the threads on the right side away, and I will start with the threads on the left side, and I will take the first two threads. The outer thread is the blue thread, so I'll put the blue thread over the black thread, and with the finger like this I will take the blue thread through the loop and make the knot. And again I will put the two threads over one another, and I will use the forefinger to take this thread out through the loop like that and make the knot. Now I will make the knots on the brown thread. One knot, two knots, and the blue thread is in the middle. I'll put the left side threads away, and now I'll take the two threads on the right. I take the blue thread, put it over the black thread, and I will, like this, take the blue thread through the loop and make the knot. Again I put the thread over the black thread, the blue thread over the black thread, and take the blue thread out through the loop. And I made the two knots on the black thread. I put away the black thread and I have the blue and the brown thread. So I'll put the blue thread over the brown thread and make the first knot. And now I make the second knot like this, and my blue threads are now in the middle, and I will make the two knots, one and two, like this. Now let's take the black thread, so I'll put the threads on the left side, on the right side away, and I start with the threads on the right side, and I will make another row with the black thread. So I made the first knot, the second knot, like this. Now I will make the knots with the blue thread, so I put the black thread over the blue thread, take the thread out through the loop, make the second knot, like this, and now I will take the threads on the right side, put the black thread over the brown thread, and take the black thread out through the loop, and I make the knot. Again, I put a black thread over the brown thread and take the thread out through the knot, and I made these knots. And now I will put the black thread over the blue thread like this, now I'll make the second knot, like this, and now my black threads are in the middle, and I will make again two knots, one knot and another knot. Like this. And now the bracelet is long enough, and let's close the bracelet. In order to close the bracelet, I will take the 3 threads on one side and start braiding them. Let's put the other 3 threads away. And now I will make a knot at the end of the braiding here. Like this. And I will start braiding the other 3 threads. And now I will also make a knot. At the same length, at the same distance. So the 2 braided cords have the same length. So I made these knots. I measured that they are at the same distance like this, and now I have these. Let's tighten those knots so that they don't open, and I will take the scissors and cut the end of the cord like this. And now let's see the bracelet, the finished bracelet. So this is what the finished bracelet looks like. So I'll put the bracelet like this around my wrist, and in order to close the bracelet I will use this loop here, and I will put one of the 2 cords through this loop, and I will make a knot or 2 knots if I want to make sure that the bracelet won't fall off. So this is the finished bracelet. I will show you how to create a chevron bracelet using these colors. So as you can see, I have used a variety of colors, the rainbow colors, and I will start making this bracelet by finding the middle of my cords. So my cords are about 70 to 75 centimeters long. I'll find the middle of those cords and I will create a loop for the bracelet closure. So I have made this loop and I will attach this loop like this with the clamp to the table so that I can arrange the cords. So I will put the cords in the color order according to their to how dark the colors are. So I will put the darker colors first. I will begin with the black color. So I will put the cords in this order like this. And then for the next row I will begin with the black color. So half of the cords have been ordered from black to yellow. And then I will continue by ordering them in the same order. So that the yellow color is on the margin, then comes the orange color, the red color, green, blue and black. Like this. And I will start making the knots. I will start with the black color. I will create the shape of the number 4 like this with the blue cord, like the blue cord that is next to the black color, and I will create this number 4, and with my forefinger I will grab the cord and put it through the loop, and I will create the first knot. Again I will create the shape of the number 4, and with my forefinger I will take the cord out through the loop and create the second knot. Now my cord, my black cord is next to the green cord, and again on the green cord, so I'll put away the blue cord. On the green cord I will create this shape of the number 4, and I will take the cord out through the loop and make one knot and the second. So I have created 2 knots here on the green cord, Now I will take the next cord, the red cord, and again I will make this shape of the number 4 like this, and I will make one knot and the second knot like this. I'll take the orange cord and I will make one knot and the second knot like this, and on the last cord, the yellow cord, I will make one knot and the second knot like this. And now I have brought the black cord in the middle, and I will start with the other side and I will make the knots in the mirror. So I will create the shape of the number 4 but in the mirror like this, and with my index finger I will take the cord out through the loop like this and make one knot and another knot. I put the orange cord away, I take the red cord, I create the shape of the number 4 in the mirror, and with my index finger I take the cord out through the loop and make one knot and the second knot like this. I put the red cord away. Now I will create the shape of the number 4 like this, and I will make one knot, and again I create the shape of the number 4 in the mirror, and with my index finger I grab the yellow cord, take it out through the loop and create the second knot. I put away the green cord. Now I will make the knot in the mirror on the blue cord. I make one knot. Again on the blue cord I make the second knot. I put the blue cord away and I will make also on the black cord one knot and the second knot. And I also put the black cord away, and now I have here in the middle the two cords, the black cord that was on this side and the yellow cord that was on this side. And now I will create with the black cord on the yellow cord the number 4 like this. With my index finger I take out the back of the number 4, so the cord. I take the cord out through this loop and I make one knot and the second knot. Like this. So we have created our first V of the chevron. Half of it is black, as you can see, and half of it is yellow. And let's continue now with the blue cord that I will also bring in the middle here, and then with the orange cord that I will bring into the middle here. Then I will use the green cord and I will bring it also into the middle. Then I will use the red cord and bring it in the middle. Then I will use the orange cord from here, bring it in the middle. and then I will use the blue cord from here and bring it in the middle, and so on until I get to the center here. So the process will be that I will create knots from the outside towards the inside. With the outside cord I create a row on the left side, then on the right side, then again with the cord on the outside I will create a line of knots on the left side, then with the cord on the right side I will create a line of knots on the right side, and so on. So let's continue with the blue cord. I will continue making knots with the blue cord until I obtain the length that I need for my bracelet. And then I will show you how to make the closure of the bracelet. So I will make 2 knots on the green cord with the blue cord, like this. Then I will take the blue cord and the red cord, and I will make knots on the red cord. Then I will make knots on the orange cord, 1 and 2 knots. Then on the yellow cord, 1 and 2 knots. Like this, and on the second yellow cord, 1 and 2. And now, as you can see from a closer distance, I have a black line and a blue line until the half here. And now I will use the green cord to make the orange cord to make another line, a second line, parallel with the with the yellow line. So I will have the yellow line, and then I will have an orange line. So I will continue making the knots, but in reverse. So the number 4 in reverse on the right side, and I will create a second orange line. As you can see, I have the first knot here, and I will create another orange line here. So let's continue, and once I have created more knots, I will show you what it looks like. Now I have made the last row of the bracelet, and now I will start closing the bracelet. And in order to close the bracelet, I will create some braids. I'll group the cords 2 by 2 and start braiding. And I will create a knot here at the end of the cord. like this. And I will also group these cords 2 by 2 and create the braiding. And now I will also make a knot at the end of this cord. So I have created a knot at the end of both cords, and now I will take the scissors and cut those cords like this. And now let's see what the bracelet looks like, the finished bracelet. So this is the finished bracelet. In order to close this bracelet, I will take one of those cords and put it through the loop here, like this, and this is how I will close the bracelet, by using these two cords. And now let's see what the bracelet looks like on the wrist. So I'll put the bracelet on the wrist like this and make a knot here. And this is what the bracelet looks like on my wrist. So this is the closure and this is the bracelet.